Identifier, yeah, girl or guy, yeah, identifier, cucumber upright, sit on it tonight. Oh, the cucumber celebrations have been going strong the last 24 hours in the WNBA and throughout the mainstream media for that matter. You know, I was thinking about this earlier today as I was driving down the interstate. One thing most identifiers have in common, they love to flaunt their identity in public. Hey there, my name is Lloyd, I'm gender void. Well, hello, my name is Preston, I'm gender guessing. Hola, me llamo Miguel, soy gender queer. Hi, my name is Tina, I have a beard. It's a good thing to be comfortable with your identity. It's good to know who you are and to be comfortable with it, although some people might object to the constant need to flaunt your identification status in public, but that's okay. That's okay. It is your right to publicly identify. But here's the thing. How come these same people refuse to identify themselves in the voting booth? When it comes to voting, the identifiers are completely against identifying themselves. It's very strange, very strange. But anyway, over the past 24 hours, the mainstream media has been celebrating the success of the WNBA. Last night, I had some wanker spanker email me. KC, you're so wrong about the WNBA. Their ratings are great. Check out this link. I expect you to apologize to these elite athletes. A what? Apology? You want me to apologize for telling the truth? If an apology is what you're expecting from this video, you are going to be disappointed. What we're about to do is what we do best. We're about to sort through the media lies and propaganda, and I'm going to give you the truth. Last weekend was a very big weekend for the WNBA. It was their annual Butt Bongo Festival, which the media calls the All-Star Game. Now, to be fair, there were some stars in Las Vegas last weekend. Just none of them were participating in the dump decathlon. You'd have a better chance of meeting a star in the WNBA provided porta potties than you would seeing them on the pretend basketball court. There was a lot of excitement heading into the no-star break. Participants who were not selected for the festivities, they enjoyed a nice weekend off. My inside sources tell me some of these lovely ladies tried to defy the laws of nature and become impregnated without the assistance of a man. Needless to say, 9 months from now, there will be no need for the services of Dr. Abortion and Nurse Diverse. But that's all good. It's all good. Due to the overwhelming success of the no-star weekend, there's going to be no time for these lovely ladies to raise a child. According to the mainstream media, this league is on the verge of a surge in popularity. Headline at Front Office Sports. WNBA All-Star Game draws largest audience in 16 years. Headline at Clutch Points. WNBA off to epic start with insane TV numbers. Both ESPN and Bleacher Report were celebrating the immaculate return of Bob Griner by praising her amazing skills of dunking trash while traveling. The NBA even got in on the praise by publishing an extensive report on the growth of their charitable tax deduction. Now, if you were to believe the NBA and the mainstream media, you would think that the WNBA is on the precipice of success. If you're naive enough to believe that, I've got some troubling news for you. The only thing the WNBA is on the precipice of is huge embarrassing failure. Let's start with the lack of skills competition that aired Friday afternoon on ESPN. The worldwide leader in woke. They caught a lot of shit for this afternoon time slot. Other media outlets were criticizing ESPN's lack of awareness. Now, I found this rather confusing because ESPN was actually doing the WNBA a favor here. Last year, the lack of skills competition, it aired on ESPNU, which is exactly where it belongs since talent level in this league resembles low-level college basketball instead of professional basketball. With ESPN supposedly dedicated to the dump, they decided to feature their lack of skills on the mothership station. They moved it from ESPNU to ESPN. You think that was enough to appease the demands of the dump divers? No. It was nothing but whining and complaining. How dare they prioritize NBA Summer League over beautiful women missing uncontested threes? Now, to be perfectly fair here, there was one participant that displayed actual skill during this competition. Sabrina Ionescu. Now, to her credit, I'm being for real here. To her credit, this young lady put on a show. I know I dump on the dump divers all the time, but Sabrina Ionescu has talent. Unlike most other players in the WNBA, Sabrina can consistently make uncontested shots. According to the media, a star was born. Ratings for the skills competition were up 43% over last year. You know, I just love how the mainstream media always includes percentages in their headlines when talking about WNBA ratings. Rarely do they include hard numbers in their headlines. This is true. Ratings were up 43% from last year, but that doesn't mean there is growth. That doesn't mean the league is surging in popularity. That's like saying sales of pet skunks are up 100%. Skunks are becoming the most popular pet in America. Why are sales up 100%? Because someone finally bought one. They went from 0 to 1. The lack of skills competition, it was watched by 288,000 people. Absolutely horrendous, even for a Friday afternoon in July. Hell, ESPN just fired Max Kellerman. He was averaging 3, maybe 400,000 viewers in the afternoon. Most people would rather watch a baboon milk a cow than watch Max Kellerman on TV. But let's go ahead and get to the crown jewel, the no-star game itself. This is one of the premier events on the WNBA calendar. The best dump divers in America all gathered into one place to battle it out for dump supremacy. This year's All-Star Game achieved another first for the WNBA, and you guys know how much the shit fucks love a first. According to Sports Media Watch, this was the first WNBA game to ever be broadcast on primetime network television. It was broadcast on ABC. Now, I'm not sure if Sports Media Watch was saying this was the first All-Star game on primetime network TV or the first WNBA game. The way it was worded in the article, it sounds like it was the first WNBA game to be on network television in prime time, which that would make sense. I mean, why would major broadcast networks give away primetime real estate to a league that can't attract Cheech and Chong to a fresh bong? Saturday night started so well for the WNBA. ABC even went the extra mile and put together a pregame show before the festivities. They even came up with an original title, WNBA Countdown. Not to be confused with NBA Countdown, a show that no one watches because it absolutely sucks. WNBA Countdown drew 986,000 viewers. Damn. I mean, all kidding aside, that is a great number. I mean, it's not great for ABC, but it's great for the WNBA. They were so close. I mean, so close to that 1 million viewer mark. But that's cool. That's cool. It's all good. If the pregame show drew 986,000, then the All-Star Game easily eclipsed 1 million viewers, right? Right? According to the mainstream media, the WNBA All-Star Game hit a 16-year high. So far, so good. This was also the 4th most watched All-Star Game in the history of the WNBA. 850,000 viewers. 850,000. What? Wait a minute. How did the pregame show have 986,000 and the so-called main event had 850,000? I can't think of another time where a pregame show had higher ratings than the game itself. The only reason to have a pregame show is to hype viewers for the actual game. Its only purpose is to convince people to stick around and watch the game itself. You mean to tell me, after watching the WNBA pregame show, almost 150,000 people turned the WNBA off? How in the hell does that happen? Who was working this pregame show? Whoever it was, they should be fired. They had one job and they failed miserably. What probably happened, the audience for the WNBA pregame show spilled over from whatever was airing on ABC beforehand. Once people realized that the WNBA All-Star Game was coming up next, they turned on anything else. Last year, the NWSL had one game on primetime network television. Now, to be fair, it was their championship game, but ratings for the WNBA All-Star Game are usually higher than the WNBA Finals. Last year, the NWSL, 915,000 viewers, 65,000 more than the WNBA. The NWSL receives 1/10, maybe 1/100th of the media coverage that the WNBA receives. Yet somehow, they still dominate the dump in the ratings. Of the big four broadcast networks on Saturday night, ABC ranked dead last, obviously. The WNBA was beaten by Major League Baseball on Fox and a fucking rerun of America's Got Talent on NBC. Now, I'm not sure what was on CBS. It was probably 48 Hours or reruns of Mike Freeman Seduces Alf. Whatever it was, it beat the WNBA. Over the last few years, these women have been begging. They have been begging to be given opportunities. They've been begging for better time slots on TV. They have been begging for attention and recognition. ABC finally acquiesced to their demands. They gave them a primetime slot on a Saturday night in the middle of July. Literally nothing else on television. And you can't come close to capturing the attention of 1 million people? Hell, there hasn't been a WNBA game watched by 1 million viewers since Candace Parker debuted in 2008. And you wonder why television networks are hesitant to get behind this league. A couple of weeks ago, the mainstream media was shitting all over Major League Baseball. The MLB All-Star Game set record low ratings again this year. The media, they were quick to point that out. But even with record low ratings for the MLB All-Star Game were 7 times higher than the WNBA. The other day, someone criticized me for being too harsh on the dump. Why do you have to be so mean? It's okay to not like the WNBA, but you don't have to be so mean to them. My issue with the WNBA has nothing to do with basketball. Now, don't get me wrong. The basketball absolutely sucks, but that is not why I'm so harsh on the WNBA. I am harder on this league than anything else, but the participants, they give me plenty of reason to be. They blame misogyny for their status as huge embarrassing failures. They call America racist. In the past, they have kneeled for the national anthem and fought for the national anthem to be removed before games. The sense of entitlement in this league is unmatched. I don't like what the WNBA represents. It represents a victim mentality. It represents a mentality of entitlement. These lovely ladies act like we owe them something. There is a market for women's basketball, believe it or not. The women at the college level, they proved that earlier this year. There's just not a market for the WNBA. But give me your thoughts. The WNBA and the mainstream media celebrate the so-called success of the All-Star Game when it was really a huge embarrassing failure. But let me ask you this. If players like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and that Flau'jae rapper girl, if they make it to the WNBA, could they make this league relevant? Could they make it succeed? That Flau'jae girl, she's got an excellent background story, and she's humble too. Even though she's only 19 or 20 years old, she's been through a lot in her young life. One of the biggest problems in the WNBA, they don't have relatable, marketable players. If these young women at the college level get into the WNBA, could we see the league succeed? I think they've got a chance if they're marketed properly. What about you? Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.